Hey friends and fellow movie nerds, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing great. I'm doing great. Just finished watching The Princess Bride for the first time in like 5 years, and we're gonna do a little review of it, and we're gonna see if it truly holds up to the test of time, since this movie came out in 1987. And spoiler alert, it might just a little bit. But before we hop in, there's one thing that I want to say, and it's very short, very simple. I have a challenge going on for you guys to get me to 500 subscribers by July. And I don't remember exactly what the reward is. I'll have it popped up somewhere on the screen. But all I know is if you want to see a grown man cry, me being the grown man, then you might want to subscribe. But that's enough of the challenge info and stuff. You guys can figure out if you want to do that or not. Let's just hop right into the movie.
Inconceivable.
So right off the bat, I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. It is a 10 out of 10. This is probably one of the best movies ever made in the history of movies because, my golly, is it a good movie. I went into this movie because I watched it technically last night, and I went into this movie thinking, you know, I had three things that I was looking for. Will it hold up to the test of time? Like the quality of the film, the quality of the audio, things like that. Number two, are the jokes still hitting? Are they still as funny as they were 20, 30, 40 years ago, right? And then number three, did I still enjoy it? Was it an enjoyable film, right? And with these three categories, a lot of the older movies they usually fall short of one of those three categories, whether it's the cinematography and audio quality, whether it's the jokes, or whether it's still entertaining nowadays, right? Fortunately for this watch of Princess Bride, there's been kind of a pretty stale good couple of years when it comes to movies and the quality of movies and stuff. So I'm gonna give it a little buff of that. So in category number one, we got the quality. Does it hold up through the test of time, right? And to that, I'd say yes. Some of the cinematography and like the special effects in this movie are better than some of the special effects in some modern movies that have come out recently, right?
Okay. I no longer go by the name Astrid. I'm now as Axel.
I'm pretty sure almost all of it is practical effects. There is very minimal, you know, touch up. I feel. I don't know that for a fact, but I feel it in my gut that this movie primarily did its special effects practically, right? And cinematically, right? It is a really good quality film. It has really good quality, like, I'm obviously not high definition because wasn't really a thing back then, but it was still very good quality film. And moving on to the jokes. Do they ever stand up to the test of time? Woo! There's one joke in particular that I was like in the middle of watching it, right, with my girlfriend. We were sitting there on the couch and Wesley says,
"Oh no, it's just they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future."
And we looked at each other and we were like, that's a little too real. You know, with the whole 2020 thing, that statement is a little too real. Just overall, the jokes of this movie are phenomenal. I love them. You go from some of the most quotable lines in the history of cinematography ever, such as,
Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that!
and you have,
Knowledge.
and then you've got, you know, I don't know, your classic lines, such as, But overall, the jokes in this movie were fantastic. I love this movie so much. And I love the concept of the movie of like a grandfather reading his story to his grandson who is sick. That is awesome. That's great. I read the Princess Bride books back in middle school. So if I remember correctly, the Princess Bride book is straight up the book that he's reading it. So we're watching the book being told through the lens of a grandfather telling the story to his grandson, right? And that's awesome. I love that narrative twist that they did. It's great. And another thing that I really, really, really love about this movie is just the quality of the acting, right? Some of the best acting in any movie I've ever seen is in The Princess Bride. You have Andre the Giant, who wasn't an actor. He was a French wrestler, and he still played Fezzik phenomenally. You have, how do you pronounce that name? Is it Ewis? Pretty sure it's Elwes, Carrie Elwes or Ewis. I don't remember how to pronounce his name, but the guy who plays as Wesley, phenomenal job. Love it. He did such the body acting at the end of the movie where he's just like flip-flopping around is some of the best comedy in the entire freaking movie. Great.
Now, I'll need a sword eventually.
Why? You can't even lift one.
True, but that's hardly common knowledge, is it? Thank you. Now, there may be problems once we're inside.
Wallace Shawn, who played Vicini, did a phenomenal job. I'm looking at the cast, right? The entire cast did such a great job. I loved all of the acting. And it's crazy to think that this movie came out, let me do some quick math, 36 years ago, which is crazy to think about, right? Just from the quality of the film, right? It's unbelievable. The practical effects during the fire swamp scene was insane.
What about the ROUSs?
Rodents of unusual size? I don't think they exist.
I know that some people, I read online that some people found the intercutting of the grandfather and grandson to be kind of annoying. I thought that was freaking awesome. Every time it cut to them, it was such an endearing and or funny moment that I simply can't agree with people who say that is annoying. I have so many great praises for this movie that I can't list them all. The amount of character building and growth that Wesley goes through from start to finish is insane. Because you start off with him with his "as you wish" line, right?
As you wish.
And then you go to find out that he left the love of his life to make a living, to give her a good life. Then you found out that he dies, right? Breaks her heart, and from his perspective, right? He did everything he could to survive, to live, to be alive. Manages to climb his rank all the way up to being the Dread Pirate Roberts, and manages to rescue her, only to find out that she is already engaged to somebody else. And I can't imagine the emotional turmoil that put him through, right? But the movie manages to play it off as a joke in a really funny way and a really entertaining way. One thing that I genuinely do not enjoy about most modern movies is the fact that serious moments are never serious. This being not only a comedy, but also a comedy that came out in the 1980s about a fantasy world that doesn't actually exist, but also kind of does, because it's kind of set in the real world, but it's also kind of not set in the real world. and manages to make funny moments genuinely funny, and the jokes still to this day hit hard, is awesome. I had a point, and I don't remember what the point is. So I'm going to move on, and it'll come back to me at some point. The last thing that I really want to talk about is the feelings that you get when you watch this movie. Because from the romance between Buttercup and Wesley to the revenge saga that Inigo Montoya goes on, to the betrayal and love and fighting and the piracy and all of these things that are able to be put into 1 hour and 38 minute long movie and still have a really, really good time with it is amazing. I can't sing this movie's praises enough. The fact that it has a rating of 8 out of 10 on IMDb is ludicrous. It has to be a 10 out of 10 minimum requirement. Rotten Tomatoes, I'm looking at the stats, that's why I'm pointing at this other screen. Rotten Tomatoes has a score of 98. No, it is 100%. I don't know who the heck Metacritic is, but their blasphemy needs to get out of here with a 78%. Nah, that's whack. Okay? This movie deserves a 10 out of 10 because of the practicality of the special effects, because of the acting, because of the jokes, which are just riddled through this movie, and they're so good. They're such good jokes. And I really, really hope I can get my point across for those of you who haven't seen The Princess Bride, which is crazy to think that there are some of you who haven't seen this movie. You need to go and watch it because it is phenomenal. It is such a good movie. It's so entertaining. And I have nothing else to say. I mean, I could probably put in a few jokes. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's like some trivial fact about Billy Crystal, the guy who played Miracle Max. I don't know exactly what the trivia between him and I think the creator of the movie Princess Bride or something. There's something there's something there. I know there is. So if you know that lore, please tell me. Please, because it's bugging me because I can't figure out what I'm trying to Google, but I know that there's something there between Billy Crystal and the creator of the Princess Bride movie. But like I said, this movie was amazing, and if you disagree, then you're wrong. But tell me why you're wrong in the comments below. And I guess the last thing I can say is my name is not Inigo Montoya, but you did kill my father, so be prepared to subscribe.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.